Banded iso hinge prep. All right, so this is an overcoming isometric exercise, which basically means that we are not moving when we're doing this exercise. You want to get a super heavy band or even a towel. It should be something that you're not able to really pull up against and make it move. We are going to get into our hinge position, and there's a few things that we really need to check for when we're here. So we have the feet about hip width distance apart. Now, it really helps to watch yourself in a mirror or get your video up on your phone and look at yourself, because a lot of times you don't realize some of the things that you're doing, okay? So you're gonna have a bit of tension on the band, and notice that my wrists are right about my knee or so. You really don't want them a lot lower than that, because you'll probably end up rounding at the lower back, and they really don't need to be a lot higher. So, you know, maybe like an inch below the knee or an inch above the knee is totally fine. So you're gonna pull on this band. Pulling on the band is going to create some tension in your shoulders and your lats. I want you to think about a dollar bill underneath your armpit, and you're gonna squeeze that dollar bill, okay? So we're putting a dollar bill right here, and then you're gonna squeeze it. That's also gonna help to turn the lats on. Now, from there, you need to exhale, open mouth, and let your ribs come down. You're going to know if your ribs are not down, because when you get here, you're gonna be popped up right here, okay? So these ribs are kind of like flaring out right now. So I need to exhale. And you really shouldn't be able to see the ribs coming out. They should be more flush with the rest of your belly. That's your number one thing to check for. You want those ribs down. Now, you also want to make sure your weight is centered over your midfoot, but that should be a little easier because you have the band running underneath your midfoot. So make sure that you feel your center of mass over that midfoot. Now, everybody's favorite, making sure that the sacrum can nutate. This means that you're not tucking and gripping your ass under, all right? A lot of times we get that gripping in the lower glute max fibers, and we don't want that in a hinge. We need those suckers to let go, okay? So as you're pulling up, you're going to come back, and remember, you want your knee just over the midfoot, so we don't need it right on top of the ankle. Sometimes when it's right on top of the ankle, we'll want to really kind of tuck under right here. So you need to watch yourself in a mirror, and I want you to look and see, do you have a small amount of curve basically from your tailbone to the base of your sacrum? We want that. We don't need an exaggerated curve right here like that. That's not doing anybody any good. It's just compressing right here. But we want to make sure that we're not completely straight, because if we're completely straight from the crown of our head all the way down through our tailbone, then we're missing that small amount of lumbar lordosis that we should have, and we're also missing that nutation at the sacrum and opening up of the posterior pelvic floor and the glutes, okay? So remember that as you go a little bit more into that sacral nutation, or just letting the sits bones spread apart, booty open up, however you want to think about it, that you're going to have to create more strength and stability on the front with your deep core, okay? Remember, proximal hamstrings and deep core are kind of like opposing anchors for the pelvis. So we need both of those to really be on and doing their job to make this position feel good. So let's go through it one more time. I know I just threw a lot at you. So exhale, ribs are gonna come down. You're gonna bend your knees slightly. Hips come back, okay? Make sure that your weight is over your midfoot, knees are just slightly forward of the ankles. Now from here, your ribs are still back. You've exhaled from the bottom up to get deep core. I want you to think about bending your knees a bit more and letting the sits bones spread apart. So you can drop your band and even kind of feel like with your hands on your butt cheeks. When you bend, it should feel like your butt fills your palms more, versus when you bend, does your butt tuck away from your palms? If it tucks away from your palms, you're not doing it right. I don't know how else to say it, you're just not, okay? So as you come down, your butt needs to feel your palms more, and I want you to think about getting that deep core on the lower that you go, okay? Now from here, you're gonna be holding your band, And we're just going to inhale and exhale. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and we're aiming to feel all of that pressure kind of move down and out the posterior pelvic floor. You may even feel it widening in your rib cage some. What we're avoiding is all of the pressure coming out through the belly, because we're trying to rehab and gain as much strength and tension here in our deep core and core musculature as we can. So inhale, and then open mouth. Let the ribs come back again and make any sort of corrections. You may notice, like I just did, that you had shifted your weight back. You can shift the weight back over the midfoot. Maybe you need to bend your knees a little bit more. Exhale, deep core on, making sure you're pinching the dollar bill. You want to look at the ground about 6 feet in front of you. You don't want your neck way up nor way down. Inhale. Exhale. And that's how you do it. My biggest tip is please, please, please watch yourself in a mirror or look at yourself on a video, because you're going to be able to see these things that I'm telling you. The first time that you do this, you're not going to probably be able to intuitively sense where these things are, so it can be super helpful to watch yourself. All right, that's how you do it.